Hello, everyone. Welcome. I see some familiar faces. It's good to see you. Nice that you could join us today. Thanks for taking the time out. It's a
Hi,
beautiful day out there, so thank you for committing to be here with us online.
glad to be here.
Where are you joining us from?
Summerwood.
Oh, all right. And I see Marianne. How are you, Marianne? She froze
Hi,
for a
Chris.
moment.
Good, Kristen. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Really looking forward to this afternoon.
Oh, good. Yes, it'll be fun. A lot of people coming in here. If you're joining us and streaming on YouTube, hello. We're really glad that you're with us also. I'm sorry we can't see your faces, but we're excited to have you on the other end of the screen as well. I see some friends from Episcopal Homes. It's great to see you. How exciting.
Hello, we're gonna get a few more people in the theater here.
Excellent.
Yes, we just saw Joey and Andrea. They were just here about an hour ago.
Right, but I bet you'll be surprised when you see them now. They look a little different.
I bet.
There's been a little costume change.
Woohoo!
Right. Anybody ever seen one of the shows live? I know that probably the most familiar ones today are Hello Dolly and Mame. Any fun stories that you want to share about your experiences? Joe, will you unmute for me?
Can't hear.
I was commenting that everyone is muted.
You are welcome to unmute for now and share with us.
You didn't want us to hear your sweet voice.
Right.
Have you done other programs like this in the past?
Yes, we have. If you go and visit our YouTube page, there's an archive of them that you can check out. We've done South Pacific and we've done Oklahoma, State Fair, a handful of others.
Oh, that sounds great. We just found it on the St. Louis Park Senior Program page.
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
sounds great.
Perfect. I'm so glad you could be here with us today.
We are too. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a history in this regard. On an early date, she discovered that I knew all of the lyrics for Once in Love with Amy.
Oh,
She was so excited, I found out, that she called her mother the next day.
And said, uh-oh.
that's a great story. I don't know if I've ever seen, I think I saw Hello Dolly at the high school nearby, but I do remember my experience seeing Mame. My husband is an airline pilot, and my parents were taking a trip to Chicago, and we flew to meet them in Chicago when we were first married, and we saw Mame at the theater there. So it has a special memory for me. That was one of the first things that we, little jaunts that we took flying standby, which is always an experience.
And we saw Wicked in Chicago some years ago.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. We have a few more people joining us. We're going to give them just a minute or two to get everyone into the program here. And again, hello, if you're joining us through the YouTube live stream or through the McPhail webpage. We're really glad that you're here. There's a number of ways to find us. If you do search for the McPhail Music for Life YouTube channel, you can see some of the past programs that we've done and check out some of that. You can also visit the McPhail Music for Life webpage and learn more about our programs, and there'll be some links as well. And you can look on the McPhail website. They have an archive history of some different programs throughout the Center for Music that are available for you to view and to see the many different things that we have going on. We had a remarkable spotlight concert this past weekend that was solo cello and dance partnership that was just stunning. And you can also go back and look at one of the previous spotlight concerts, and you'll see a number of the artists that are singing today. They were featured earlier this fall. So if you'd like to see them in formal performance mode, you can check that out as well. It's great to see so many people. All right. Does everybody have their lyric sheets? I know this was a bigger batch this time, so thank you for taking the effort to print them all out. It's nice to be able to follow along that way. So often we are swiping these days, right, to see different things on screens, but there's something about being able to hold it in your hands too that sometimes makes it a little bit more accessible when we're working through the screen. So, yeah. All right, well, it is 2 o'clock and we might have some people continue to join us throughout, but we are going to go ahead and get started. I did want to welcome you today, and thank you for joining us for today's McPhail Music for Life, the Songs of Jerry Herman sing-along. For the last year, it's been our delight to be able to share music with you in a unique format such as this. And it's been our joy to be able to collaborate on these programs, and we hope that it's brought joy to you as well, being able to sing along on the other side of the screen. I did want to make a special acknowledgement that funding for our program today has been provided by the Suzanne Holmes Hodder Memorial Fund for its annual symposium to advance the mission of the League Heirs to bring the joy and healing power of music to older adults and to those with special needs. Suzanne Holmes Hodder was an enthusiastic member of the League Heirs, and she was dedicated and devoted to her family, her friends, and her community, where she volunteered for many different organizations. She was active in the League Heirs choir from 1984 to 2011, and she loved to sing and bring the joy of music to others. It was her special mission to bring music and sing for the veterans in different settings. And we want to thank the current leadership of the League Heirs who have helped us to make this program possible. If you don't know, the League Heirs are one of our many McPhail Music for Life community partnerships. I have seen some of our other partners that are joining us today, and we're so glad to have you with us today too. Or maybe you've participated in one of our classes. We do offer a number of classes also for older adults. McPhail Music for Life is an interactive music education and creative arts program that to bring the many benefits of music into the lives of more than 2,000 adults each year. You can find out more about our program and especially about some of the classes and other opportunities that we have by visiting our website at www.mcphail.org. And as I mentioned, there's an archive of past performances. You can find out more information about today's teaching artists who are leading the program. And you can sign up for other classes and events as well on that website. The teaching artists who are leading today, I'll teach within our program. And I know that you'll enjoy not only their music, but also their passion, their creativity, their enthusiasm. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Rubino, and he's going to be telling us a little bit more about the composer and lyricist Jerry Herman, whose songs we'll be singing today. Jerry.
Hi, everyone. I was overwhelmed when I started doing some research, and so I'm not going to do all of the work for you. And in other words, if you are your interest is piqued in the man, uh, the internet is full of information about him, and even some recordings of him singing and interviews and so forth is just fascinating. So I would encourage you to just lose an hour and just go searching around. Briefly, Jerry Herman was born in 1931 and just died in 2019. And he had skills both as a composer and a lyricist, which is not all folks do have. And he was the recipient of multiple Tony Awards as well as Kennedy Center honors. Um, in all of the bios, he gives credit to his parents for being so encouraging and welcoming him and taking him to the theater. So he kind of was raised on it, and it just became just like many of us as musicians. And of course, his huge hits are Hello Dolly, Mame, and La Cage. Those are the big ones. There's many other shows. One of the things I found a little interesting tidbit was that he loved to decorate houses. So in between shows, he took on decorating houses and selling them and so forth. And it's reputed that he worked on more than 3 dozen such homes. I have to mention something about La Cage because it was so groundbreaking in the 80s when the AIDS crisis was coming, just emerging and everything. And he just wrote this wonderful musical. And I'm going to quote the Washington Post. It says, La Cage arrived during the height of the AIDS epidemic and helped put gay life into the cultural mainstream at a time when so many gay men were being stigmatized. It was so groundbreaking. It certainly is, and it continues to be. I just have to say one more personal note. In January of 1997, I was celebrating my birthday in Palm Springs. I got a phone call and said, "You have to come downtown, Jerry, because the other Jerry is there signing his book." And here is the book that I got in 1997. It's basically his songbook. And when he found out it was my birthday, he signed inside. He says, "Happy birthday to the wonderful Jerry from the other wonderful one." And so I'm just happy to have met him briefly. He was just a ball of energy and a very, very kind man. And it's just a thrill to get to do some of this glorious music with you today. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you will sing along. I'll turn it over to Vicki. Vicki, you're muted.
I just unmuted myself the first time. But Mame opened on Broadway in 1966. It ran for 1,508 performances from May of 1966 to January of 1970. But the story of Mame had a long life before that. First, it was a Broadway comedy in 1956, and then it was a film called Auntie Mame in 1958 with Rosalind Russell, and it comes from a book by Patrick Dennis, whose real name was Edward Everett Tanner III, and he wrote the book Auntie Mame about his real life aunt. So a lot of these things were taken for real. Her name was Marion Tanner. She died at 94. She had a big house in Greenwich Village, and she was a true Greenwich Village eccentric. So this is the story about an eccentric bohemian woman whose fabulous New York City life is interrupted by her orphaned nephew, who is Patrick Dennis. Who is Patrick Dennis, the guy who wrote the book? Anyway, he puts himself in there as the nephew. And her fabulous life is interrupted by the nephew and the Great Depression and World War II and all the things that happen. So Angela Lansbury and B. Arthur were the main characters of Mame and Vera in this production, and they, along with the Patrick of the was one Tony Award winner. They were Tony Award winners. Others were all nominated. Mary Martin turned down this show. I bet she regretted that. But Angela Lansbury was wonderful. And for the second run, Jerry Herman really wanted Judy Garland to be the star. He really pushed for Judy Garland. He was heartbroken that she was forbidden from doing it. His producers said they would not hire her because she had such a bad reputation for drug use and not showing up. And she actually died a couple of years after that. Other people that played Mame: Celeste Holm, Janice Page, Jane Morgan, Ann Miller, Ginger Reynolds, Ginger Rogers played it on the West End in London. There was a 40th anniversary revival in 2006. And don't forget the movie Mame with Lucille Ball and B. Arthur in 1974. It was sort of a box office failure. It was said that Lucille Ball could not hold up to the musical demands of the show. But one of the big quotes from the movie and the show Mame says, "Life is a banquet, and most poor SOBs are starving to death." So we hope you enjoy this musical meal. Bon appetit.
Light the candles, get the ice out, roll the rug up. It's today, though it may not be anyone's birthday, and though it's far from the first of the year, I know that this very minute has history in it. We're here.
It's the time for making merry, and so I'm for making hay.
Tune the grand up, dance your shoes off, strike the band up. It's today.
And we're living, and we're well, gang. So raise hell, gang, while we may.
Call the cops out, raise a racket, pull the stops
Out
out.
the stops.
It's today.
Light the candles, fill the punch bowl, throw confetti. It's today.
Life can also be lived on a weekday, so don't depend on a holiday date. If you need New Year's to bubble, then order a double and wait.
There's a thank you you can give life if you live life all the way.
Pour the scotch out, hold the roof down.
Fellas, watch out. It's
It's
today.
today.
It's a time for making merry, and so I'm for making hay.
Tune the grand up, call the cops out, strike the band up, pull the stops out. Hallelujah, it's today. Hey!
If you follow your Auntie Mame, I'll make this vow, my little love, that on the last day of your life, you'll be smiling the same sweet smile you're smiling now, my little love. If you wake up every morning and you pull aside the shutter and you promise me that this'll be the first words that you utter. Open a new window, open a new door, travel a new highway that's never been tried before. Before you find you're a dull fellow, punching the same clock, walking the same tightrope as everyone on the block. The fellow you ought to be is three-dimensional, soaking up life down to your toes. Whenever you say you're slightly unconventional, just put your thumb up to your nose and show 'em how to dance to a new rhythm, whistle a new song, toast with a new vintage. The fizz doesn't last too long. There's only one way to make the bubbles stay. Simply travel a new highway, dance to a new rhythm, open a new window every day.
Open a new window, open a new door, travel a new highway that's never been tried before. Before you find you're a dull fellow, punching the same clock, walking the same tightrope as everyone on the block. The fellow you ought to be is three-dimensional, soaking up life down to your toes. Whenever they say you're slightly unconventional, just put your thumb up to your nose and show 'em how to dance to a new rhythm, whistle a new song, toast with a new vintage. The fizz doesn't last too long. There's only one way to make the bubble stay. Simply travel a new highway,
dance to a new rhythm,
whistle a new love song,
toast with a new vintage,
open a new window every day.
Before I begin this next song, I just have to say that I got to play this role of young Patrick when I was a sophomore in high school, and I have never sung this song again since. So this is many years later, singing My Best Girl. You're my best girl, and nothing you do is wrong. I'm proud you belong to me. And if a day is rough for me, having you there's enough for me. But if someday another girl comes along, it won't take her long to see that I'll still be found just hanging around. My best girl, you're my best girl. You're beautiful, brave, and strong. There's nothing we two can't face. If you're with me, whatever comes, we'll see that trouble never comes. And if someday another girl comes along, determined to take your place, I hope hope she's resigned to falling behind. My best girl. And if someday, when everything turns out wrong, you're through with the human race, come running to me, for you'll always be my best girl, my best girl.
You coax the blues right out of the horn, Mame. You charm the husk right off of the corn, Mame. You've got those banjos strumming and plunking out a beat to beat the band. The whole plantation's humming since you brought Dixie back to Dixieland.
You make the cotton easy to pick, Mame. You give my old mint julep a kick, Mame. Whoever thought a Yankee could put our little Dixie girls to shame? You made us feel alive again. You've given us the drive again to make the South revive again, Mame.
You brought the cakewalk back into style, Mame. You make the weeping willow tree smile, Mame. Your skin is Dixie satin, there's rebel in the manner of your speech. You may be from Manhattan, but Georgia never had a sweeter peach.
You make the old magnolia tree bud, Mame. You make camellias bloom in the mud, Mame. You make the bougainvillea turn purple at the mention of your name. We're baking pecan pies again. Tonight the chicken fries again. Tonight the moon will rise again, Mame.
Well, shut my mouth and freeze my face. You've brought some elegance to the place. There's sowbelly, hominy, catfish, and tripe, Mame. Well, shut my mouth and damn my eyes. You've made the price of tobacco rise. The old watermelon is suddenly ripe, Mame. And down on the levee, a beautiful bevy of crinoline ladies has flocked. The way that they're squealing, they give me the feeling the Robert E. Lee must have docked. The strumming and ringing, the humming and singing is starting to get all hands since you brought Dixie back to Dixieland.
You make our black-eyed peas and our grits, Mame, seem like the bill of fare at the Ritz, Mame.
You came, you saw, you conquered, and absolutely nothing is the same.
Your special, fascinational,
Prove to be inspirational.
We think you're just sensational, Mame. Well, always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you. If I say that your tongue is vicious, if I call you uncouth, it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the truth? Though now and again I'm aware that my candid opinion may sting, though often my frank observation might scald. I've been meaning to tell you for years you should keep your hair natural, like mine. If I kept my hair natural like yours, I'd be bald. But darling, we'll always be dear companions, my crony, my mate. We'll always be harmonizing. Orphan Annie and Sandy, like Amos and Andy. If I say that your sense of style's as far off as your youth, it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy will tell you the whole stinking truth? Each time that a critic has written, your voice is the voice of a frog. Straight to your side to defend you I'd rush. You know that I'm there every time that the world makes an unkind remark. When they say Vera Charles is the world's greatest lush, it hurts me. And if I say your fangs are showing, Mame, pull in your claws, it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy would notice the obvious flaws? I feel it's my duty to tell you it's time to adjust to your age. You tried to be peg of my heart when you're Lady Macbeth. Exactly how old are you, Vera? The truth. Well, how old do you think? I'd say somewhere between 40 and death. But sweetie, I'm always be Alice Toklas if you'll be Gertrude Stein. And though I'll admit I've dissed you, I've gossiped and gloated, but I'm so devoted. And if I say that sex and guts made you into a star, remember it's who else but a bosom buddy will tell you how rotten you are. Just turn to your bosom buddy for aid and affection, for help and direction, for loyalty, love, and forsooth. Remember that. Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and level and give you the devil? Will sit down and tell you the truth.
I love this next song. It's such a beautiful ballad that it's been used in a lot of different settings, not just in the musical Mame. If you walked into my life. Where's that boy with the bugle? The boy who tried to show me what love could be. Where's that boy with the bugle? And why do I feel the someone to blame is me? Did he need a stronger hand? Did he need a lighter touch? Was I soft or was I tough? Did I give enough? Did I give too much? At the moment when he needed me, did I ever turn away? Would I be there when he called if he walked into my life today? Were his days a little dull? Were his nights a little wild? Did I overstate my plan? Did I stress the man and forget the child? And there must have been a million things that my heart forgot to say. Would I think of one or two if he walked into my life today? Should I blame the times I pampered him, or blame the times I bossed him? What a shame I've never really found the man before I lost him. Were the years a little fast? Was his world a little free? Was there too much of a crowd, all too lush and loud, and not enough of me? Though I'll ask myself my whole life long, what went wrong along the way? Would I make the same mistake if he walked into my life today? If that boy with the bugle walked into my life today?
Oh, Vicki, that was just lovely. We're moving away from Mame now into Hello Dolly, and Hello Dolly is such a great, beloved American musical, of course. And I think of it as having three of the things that Jerry Herman loves in it. He loves women, and he loves love, and he loves second chances. And this is really about women at different stages of their lives who are taking that second chance at finding love and happiness, even though it's not expected that they should deserve that at that point. And there is, of course, this great, what's called in musical theater land, screamer ballad, Before the Parade Passes By, which is this anthem of taking your opportunities and running with them, and not living in fear of what that kind of change and excitement could bring. So we'll kick it off back with Vicki, starting us off with Hello Dolly.
I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture and daffodils and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, Why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? So I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. And a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced till some kind soul condescends to give her beau a little boost. So I put my hand in there, I put my hand in here. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, poker games, and love. My aplomb at cosmetic art turned a frump to a trump lady fair. She had a countenance a little bit like Scrooge, but oh, today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rouge. When I put my hand in there, I twist a little, just her a little, him a little, her a little, shape a little, mold a little, some poor soul gets sold a little. When I use my fist a little, some young bride gets kissed a little, pressure with the thumbs. Matrimony comes when I put my hand in there.
Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there, beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby.
Out there, full of sun and shine and sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby.
Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfumed night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll close the town in a whirl. And we won't come back until we've kissed a girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Strut down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirit seems to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as good as you look. Beneath your parasol, the world is all a smile that makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads, your buckles and bows, for there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
Beneath your bowler brim, there's world's a simple song, a lovely lilt that makes you tilt your nose.
Get out your slickers, your flannel knickers, your red suspenders and hose,
for there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by, and so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow up behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall a lovely love can be. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he might notice me.
Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some life back into my life. I'm gonna move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life with the rest of them, with the best of them. I can hold my head up high, for I've got a goal again, I've got to drive again, I've got to feel my heart coming alive again before the parade passes by.
Look at that crowd up ahead. Listen and hear that brass harmony growing. Look at that crowd up ahead. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing.
All of those lights over there, telling me where I'm going. When the whistles blow and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky, I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton before the parade passes by.
The parade passes by. Listen and hear that brass harmony growing. When the parade passes by, pardon me if my old spirit is showing.
All of those lights over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. When the whistle blows and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky, I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me that old trombone, give me that old baton. When the parade passes by.
Yes, New York, it's really us, Barnaby and Cornelius, all the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular. What a knack there is to that acting like a born aristocrat. We've got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off.
All who are well-bred agree Minnie Fay has pedigree. Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight. Could they be misleading us? Silver spoons were used for feeding us. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off.
Middle class, don't speak of it, savoir-faire. We reek of it, some were born with rags and patches, but we use dollar bills for matches.
Vanderbilt kowtows to us. J.P. Morgan scrapes and bows to us.
We got elegance, we were born with elegance.
Have you noticed when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves?
And the way I keep my pinky up indubitably proves
that we've got elegance.
We've got built-in elegance, and with elegance, elegance, we'll carry it off.
Hello, Harry. Well, hello, Louis. It's so nice to be back home where I belong. You're looking swell, Danny, I can tell. Manny, you're still glowing, you're still crowing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying for the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap, fellas, Dolly'll never go away again.
Hello, Dolly, well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Dolly, I can tell, Dolly. You're still growing, you're still growing, you're still going strong.
We feel the room swaying, for the band is playing one of your old favorite songs from way back when. So
here's my hat, fellas, I'm staying where I'm at, fellas.
Promise you'll never go away again.
I went away from the lights of 14th Street and into my personal haze. But now that I'm back to the lights of 14th Street, tomorrow will be brighter than the good old days.
Well, well, hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Dolly. We can tell, Dolly. You're still glowing. You're still crowing. You're still going strong.
I hear the ice tinkle, see the lights twinkle, and you still get glances from us handsome men. So
Wow, 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 fellas. Look at the old girl now, fellas.
Dolly, you'll never go away again.
Mac and Mabel opened on Broadway in 1974, starring Robert Preston as Mac and Bernadette Peters as Mabel. The show was nominated for 8 Tony Awards, but Jerry Herman's score was not one of the nominations. The show only ran for 8 weeks, and it ended up not winning any of those Tony Awards. The story of Mac and Mabel is, as Andrea mentioned earlier, a story about second chances. Mac is a silent film director making a silent picture, and Mabel is the delicatessen worker, delivery girl who brings a sandwich to the set. Mac discovers her, makes her into a star of his movies, which are comedies. Mabel decides that she wants more than comedy. She wants to be in drama. So she leaves Mac, finds a new man, Taylor, who makes serious movies. This talky movie, they start having a relationship, and Mabel ends up deciding she's not happy with Taylor anymore, so she tries to go back to Mac. Things don't turn out so well for Mabel, though, when she tries to go back to Mac. Taylor ends up being murdered, and Mabel becomes the prime suspect of that murder. Mac decides that he's willing to give Mabel another chance, but by the time he's ready to meet her, Mabel has died. Andrea is going to sing Time Heals Everything, which is Mabel's song of hope. She really thinks that through this time that has passed, Mac will take her back and her life will get back on track.
Time heals everything. Tuesday, Thursday. Time heals everything. April, August. If I'm patient, the break will mend, and one fine morning the hurt will end. So make the moments fly. Autumn, winter, I'll forget you by next year, some year. Though it's hell that I'm going through, some Tuesday, Thursday, everything. Time is everything but loving you. Oh, it's hell that I'm going through. Some Tuesday, Thursday, April, August, autumn, winter, next year, some year, time heals everything. Time is everything but loving you.
Thank you so much, Andrea. That was gorgeous. Mac and Mabel is a show that we don't hear very often, and that song definitely needs to be heard more. So we're going to leave you today with the show La Caja Fall. And, you know, Jerry Herman was so good at bringing back the traditional sound of musical theater with a little bit more pizzazz, I would say. And Hello Dolly and Mame harken back to that era of golden age musicals for sure. But La Cage, as Jerry said earlier, was groundbreaking because it was centered around a homosexual relationship. And yes, he loved women, as Andrea said, but he loved women in kind of an idyllic way. He loved men, truly. He was gay, and matter of fact, he came down with HIV in 1985 at the height of the AIDS epidemic, and he lived till 2019. He was one of the miracle cases of survivors. But he made this musical centering around a gay couple, and if you've ever seen the movie Birdcage, then you know the plot of La Caja Fall. And when it came out in 1983, it was very daring. There had never been a gay relationship on stage before on Broadway, and certainly not the leads of the show. And to make it even more daring, it opened in Boston, which you might not know being from the Midwest, but Boston is a pretty darn conservative town. It's a Catholic town. So I don't know what they were thinking when the producers said, let's premiere this in Boston, but they were very nervous about it. Jerry Herman was nervous. He wrote the lyrics and the music. Harvey Fierstein wrote the book. He was nervous. And the director was Arthur Lawrence, who had directed West Side Story and Gypsy. And he was the most nervous. And so nervous, in fact, that there was no physical interaction between the gay lovers in the show. And finally, it was Jerry Herman who said, I think our couple needs to at least hold hands or something. So they had them dance off into the sunset. And there was one kiss that occurs, and they just kiss on the cheek, which Arthur Lawrence said, okay, that's very French, so we'll go with that. But when it premiered in Boston, there are people who were in the show talk about how amazing it was because they're all drag queens looking out at the audience at the very start of the show and quite convincingly looking like women. And so there were a lot of men whose wives had dragged them to the theater to see this show. And they were sitting in the front row, and they didn't really know they were looking at men dressed in drag when the curtain came up. And so when they made the realizations, they said you could see it on their faces that all of a sudden they felt very uncomfortable being in the front row of this theater. And they said, but those same men, by the end of the show, when the older couple kisses on the cheek and dances off into the sunset together, those same men whose wives had dragged them to the theater were crying. And so this show had quite an impact on people and really helped destigmatize the gay population as the height of the HIV era was here with us. So some beautiful music, and Jerry is going to start us off with Song on the Sand.
Do you remember that windy little beach we walked along? That afternoon in fall, that afternoon we met. A fellow with a concertina sang, what was that song? It's strange what we recall, and odd what we forget. I heard la da 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 as we walked on the sand. I hear la da da da. I believe it was early December. Though the crash of the waves, I could tell that the words were romantic. Something we're worth sharing, something about always. Though the years race along, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can hardly remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear la da 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 da, and I'm young and in love. I believe it was early December. Through the crash of the waves, I can tell that the words were romantic. Something about sharing, something about always. Though the years race along, I can still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can barely remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am for certain of. I hear la da 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 da, and I'm young and in
I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So come, take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to take a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise, I don't want pity. I bang my own drum, some think it's noise, I think it's pretty. And so what if If I love each feather and each spangle, why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am. I am, I need no excuses. I deal my own deck. Sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one life and there's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am.
How often is someone concerned with the tiniest thread of your life? Concerned with whatever you feel and whatever you touch. Look over there, look over there. Somebody cares this much. How often does somebody sense that you need them without being told? When someone has a hurt in your heart you're too proud to disclose. Look over there, look over there. Somebody always knows when your world spins too fast and your bubble has burst. Someone puts himself last so that you can come first. So count all the loves you have loved and of the end of your life. And when you have added the loves you have loved there before, look over there, look over there. Somebody loves you more.
The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows, who knows, who knows? So hold this moment fast and live and love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now.
No, not some forgotten yesterday. Now, tomorrow is too far away. So hold this moment fast and live and love as hard as you
now, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now.
The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
So hold this moment fast, and live and love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now,
is now,
is now,
is now.
Now, not some forgotten yesterday. Now, tomorrow is too far away. So make this moment last, and live and love as long as you know how. And make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
So hold this moment fast, and live and love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. Now, not some forgotten yesterday. Now, tomorrow is too far away.
So hold this moment fast, and live and love as long as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now.
And make this moment last, because the best of times is now,
Is now,
is now,
is now,
is now.
Thank you so much to our teaching artists who led the singing today. And thank you to all of you who joined us, whether it was on the Zoom, on YouTube, through the live stream, or if you're joining us at a later date to look at the archived performance. We're so thankful that you took the time out of your day to make some music together with us. If you're interested in finding out more about McPhail Music for Life programs, I'd invite you to go to our website, www.mcphail.org. If you look at the top and go under programs, you can scroll down to Music for Life, and it will tell you about many of our partnership opportunities, as well as our classes and different events that we have going on. We've been so fortunate to be able to make music this way with you during the pandemic, but we are looking forward to making music back in person again sometime soon. If you watch our website, we do have a few live events that will be happening. We have some classes this summer, including a choir that will meet outdoors, socially distanced, and some unwrapping music classes that will meet indoors with masks and precautions. So we would invite you to join us for those. We're also working on an event where we might be able to sing together outdoors in the park this summer for a similar event as this, but be able to hear each other singing together. So we hope that you'll watch our website. I will send out reminders also and information to those of you who have registered to receive the lyric packets so that we can invite you to be part of that event too. Again, thank you for taking time to join us. We're so thrilled to be able to make music with you this way. And we hope that you have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.